Hello everyone and welcome to this Start Strong with ACCA-X webinar. My name is Gillian Logue and I'm part of a team of people who look after the ACCA-X suite of courses which we have available on the edX platform. I'm also joined today by my colleague Isabel Roth, who will be chatting with you a bit later on, and she'll be covering the many study support tools available as well as your next steps. This webinar has been designed to provide you with an overview of our courses and introduce the benefits and resources on offer by studying with ACCA-X. We'll also talk about the ACCA-X community as well as covering advice for those of you who are self-studying, and we'll share our tips for exam success. But before we kick off, I'm going to run through some housekeeping points. At the bottom of the screen, there are several icons you can use. There is a help icon, which is being highlighted on your screen as we speak, and this provides the resources you need to resolve any technical issues you may experience. There are also icons for the slides and the media player, and you'll need to have both open during the webinar, so make sure you have selected these. You can also rearrange your screen to suit your preference. If at any point you have any connectivity issues, please try refreshing your browser. There is a Q&A button which you can use to submit questions, and we have a dedicated team working behind the scenes committed to answering as many of your questions as possible. However, please note that given the volume of questions we receive in these live webinars, we can't guarantee responding to everyone directly. That said, we have allotted some time for a live Q&A towards the end of this webinar, and we hope that in this Q&A segment we can offer responses to some of the questions that will be helpful to everyone. There is a resource list icon which includes an interactive one-pager summary of the various resources referenced throughout this webinar. We recommend you download this PDF and take a look in your own time. It contains all the links you need to access each resource. Registering for this webinar means that you'll be sent an email tomorrow allowing you access to a recorded version of this webinar, so don't worry if you miss something or if you have technical issues. So in today's half-hour session, we'll cover what ACCA-X is and how these courses can help you gain the fundamental knowledge needed to pass the FIA and Applied Knowledge exams. We'll cover the additional study resources that are available within the courses, how you can use the Xpert Learning Assistant bot to support your studies, and also useful tips for self-study. We'll finish off with a 15-minute Q&A where you can ask us anything relating to ACCA-X. Unfortunately, we won't be able to answer any questions relating to things like exemption queries or the ACCA qualification in general in today's session, so we would urge you, if you have these types of queries, just to contact ACCA customer service directly. So we'll kick off with a poll. You'll see this on screen, and this is just, we're wondering what you think is going to be the most challenging part of a self-paced on-demand course where you study yourself. Do you think it will be lack of motivation? Do you feel as though there'll be no accountability if you're studying alone? No tutor support in a self-study course? Not understanding the content, or something else which you can tell us in the attendee chat at the bottom. So I'll give you some time to answer that, and it's what you think the most challenging part would be of sitting an on-demand self-paced course. So I'll wait for a few more responses to come in. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds just to get your answer in. Lots of you answering now, which is good. Okay, I'll move on to the results. So it looks as though the majority of you think that lack of motivation is going to be the most challenging part, which is completely and utterly understandable. A lot of you think no tutor support, no live tutor support is also something that you might be apprehensive about, which is also a very valid point if you've never done a course like this before. So let's move on. So what is ACCA-X? So ACCA-X offers a suite of 7 online courses designed to build strong foundations in accountancy and prepare learners for the applied knowledge exams of the ACCA qualification. Each course provides comprehensive learning materials that fully meet the syllabus requirements for both the FIA and Applied Knowledge levels, along with a range of practice exams and questions to help you prepare confidently for your exams. 4 of our courses are completely free of charge, making them highly affordable and aligned with ACCA's mission to make accountancy education accessible to everyone. Our course content is closely aligned with the ACCA syllabus and updated annually to reflect the latest syllabus changes. So students studying with ACCA-X can be confident that they have access to all the essential technical material and ample question practice needed to succeed in their exams. Behind the scenes, a dedicated support team works to enhance your learning experience through our discussion forums, live virtual notice board updates, email comms, and a range of helpful course handouts. So learners in the paid courses can also enjoy free access to the additional practice tests, providing even more opportunities for exam preparation. By enrolling in ACCA-X, you can also join a global learning community where learners support one another through knowledge sharing and collaboration, helping each other progress on their learning journeys. One of the most valuable aspects of our courses, as highlighted in our learner feedback, is their flexibility. The courses are available on demand, allowing you to study at your own pace, whenever and wherever suits you best. This makes them ideal for learners balancing other commitments such as work or family. So once enrolled, you'll have 12 months access to all of our course materials with the freedom to revisit the content as often as you need. So here's a breakdown of each of our free and paid courses. We offer introductory and intermediate courses in bookkeeping and management accounting, all of which are open access and completely free for everyone to use. The technical content in these courses is directly aligned with the syllabus learning outcomes for FA1, MA1, FA2 and MA2 exams, which are the core exams within ACCA's FIA qualification. So in short, completing the FA1 and MA1 exams earns you a level 2 diploma in financial and management accounting, while FA2 and MA2 qualifies you for a level 3 diploma in financial and management accounting. So once enrolled, like I said, you'll have 12 months access. On average, our learners spend around about 30 to 48 hours completing each course, but you can pace your study however you like over that 12-month period. Like I said, the benefit of flexibility is one of the key kind of attractions to our courses, and we always recommend scheduling dedicated study time to stay on track, especially if your goal is to complete the course and sit the related exam. In addition, we'll also offer all 3 level 4 diploma courses, which correspond to the applied knowledge level of the full ACCA qualification, and that is financial accounting, management accounting, and business and technology. These courses are more in depth, requiring around about 60 and 96 hours of study time. The level 4 courses are paid courses, normally priced at $119 US per course. However, from today right up until the 1st of December, edX are offering a 15% discount, which you'll see on the slide and should hopefully appear on the screen below me right now. This might also be good time to mention actually that upon completion of the courses, this won't grant an exemption to the ACCA exams, as these courses help you get ready for the exams. I did notice a lot of questions coming in before the live session today from learners who were really eager to know whether we would offer exemptions, but no exemptions. The courses will get you ready to sit the exam. So that's an important point to note. And also that our learners consistently praise the high quality content and valuable resources provided in our courses, and this is something Isabel will touch on a bit later. So a quick course overview. Some key course features include our course orientation, which you would complete first. It simply provides you with an overview of the course and how you can navigate through. Our courses are specifically designed to make the learning journey easier. All of the content is digestible with some interactive resources, videos and images, and you can also revisit earlier units to refresh your memory. There are several helpful resources available throughout the course, such as summary notes and course maps, which you can download and use as checklists to track your progress. And you'll also find valuable platform features like the discussion forums, where you can connect with fellow learners. And more recently, edX, the platform hosting our courses, has introduced an AI-powered chat tool called Xpert Learning Assistant, a really fantastic learning assistant which will help you during the course. Let me just move on. Xpert, we'll go into it a wee bit later on, but Xpert, just to clarify, is like a digital tutor. So it's helps you get ready to help answer technical questions whenever you get stuck in a topic. So we've included a demonstration video of this later in today's webinar so you can see exactly how it works. Each section includes opportunity to test your knowledge with some practice questions, and there is a dedicated revision section within the courses which includes video debriefs which will walk you through effective exam techniques. And if you're enrolled on a paid course, you'll also, actually a fantastic point, you'll also receive free access to the official ACCA practice test. They're a fantastic bonus as they are normally available for a fee. But note, this is only available on the paid courses. However, there is a free specimen exam on the ACCA website for all of our 7 exams. So just a quick one on the differences between the ACCA-X and the Study Hub. Some of you might be wondering what those differences are, and ACCA registered students should already know about or have already used the Study Hub. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, I'll just explain a bit further. So while ACCA-X is an online learning platform containing features such as video tutorials, interactive resources, like I said, an AI tutor bot, and a community forum, the ACCA Study Hub is more of a digital textbook which covers all of the ACCA and FIA exams. So both fantastic resources which are standalone tools to help pass exams, but also they can nicely complement each other for learners at that FIA Applied Knowledge level. So let me hand over to Isabel, who's going to talk to you a bit more about how ACCA-X supports our learners.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Gillian. My name's Isabel. I'm a community manager for ACCA, and that includes supporting our global community of learners on ACCA-X courses. When you enroll onto an ACCA-X course, you are joining that global community, and as Gillian's already kind of hinted, you get access to a wealth of study resources that will help you build solid foundations in your accountancy knowledge. But it'll also help increase your confidence, develop a deeper understanding of subjects, and these will carry you all the way through your ACCA journey. I just wanted to start with some really nice stats. So we're here to explain the benefits of ACCA-X to you, but we thought it'd be nice to share some real student comments as well, so you can see what our learners say about these courses. So 92% of learners were satisfied with their courses. 89% of learners were likely to recommend the courses to others, and 81% plan to take another ACCA-X course. We've got some really nice comments there as well on the screen. So as you can see, don't just take it from us. Learners are really happy with these courses as well. So what I'll do now is just take you through some of the elements of the ACCA-X courses, some of the resources available to you, and we'll also cover some study tips to help you get the most out of this course program. So on the slide, there's an overview of the various ACCA-X resources that you can use to supplement your learning. It's really important to make use of these resources as much as you can, particularly if as self-study students learning outside of a classroom environment, because used together with the technical content, these resources are going to really help you to solidify your knowledge and stay on track. Now, there is a discussion forum at the end of every session on each ACCA-X course. This gives learners the opportunity to share ideas and ask questions about topics that they've just covered and may need a little bit of help trying to unpick. These are really, really good places to put your knowledge to the test. So basically, think about it this way. You're not going to know if you've understood a subject until you try and explain it to someone else. So do contribute to your community and share your progress as well with each other. It's really fantastic to see all the learners communicating on our forums, reminding each other that they're not alone in this study journey and helping everyone start, as strong as possible. We do know that studying alone can be a bit stressful, so it's important to connect with each other and support one another. On the forums as well, you'll have support from the ACCA-X team. We're on hand to assist with questions that you might have as you progress through the course, and you can reach out to us on the forums and we'll help as we can. As an ACCA-X learner, I also want to just flag that you're going to receive regular updates about ACCA, and we'll keep you in the loop about other study resources which are going to help you prepare for your exams. So when you've enrolled onto a course, what we recommend is on your course homepage, opening up the virtual notice board. This is your go-to for useful tips and links to relevant resources. That includes things like YouTube playlists, exam-specific guidance, podcasts, everything you might need. Gillian's also mentioned the course handouts. So these include things like the downloadable course summary notes, which support your learning. So these can be used as an offline revision aid as well. So they're really handy, and we do really recommend making sure that you make use of those. We've also got course maps, so that'll tell you what each section and lesson is going to cover, so you can build a bit of a study plan around that. And we also link out to the relevant ACCA syllabus documents as well. Now, I've got video resources here on this list. We've got loads of really useful video resources. They break down tricky topics, and they use exam-like examples to help you understand core concepts. And you'll also find exam debrief videos, plus opportunities for question practice and regular knowledge checks. These are going to help you gauge your understanding of the course topics, and you can revisit lessons and subjects as needed. Now, finally, we have Xpert, and we've mentioned this a couple of times so far. This is edX's digital learning assistant. You can ask it questions, it will guide you to discover answers, but what we thought we'd do is just play a very short video which will explain this a little bit further. So I'm just going to play that now.
Xpert Learning Assistant is an AI-powered digital tutor. It's embedded across all your ACCA-X courses and accessible as a widget on the bottom right-hand corner of each unit screen. This tool is designed to support your technical understanding of the various topic areas covered in your courses. Whether it's understanding the elements of the financial statements, the accounting equation, or cost classifications, it can help you to grasp concepts better. It's important to build the right prompting techniques to get the most out of Xpert. How you enter your query will influence the quality of the reply that you receive. Therefore, be specific, clear, and concise with your requests. For example, asking, "Explain the accounting equation," is better than a statement that reads, "I don't understand accounting." It's important to note that whilst Xpert is a great tool, it should be used as a supplementary resource to complement your learning rather than the primary source to obtain all your learning. Additionally, as with all generative AI tools, it leverages a large language model. It's powered by ChatGPT and therefore may make mistakes. Be particularly careful where numbers are concerned, as it may serve up incorrect calculations. It helps to reinforce your learning by checking against the information within the unit. For example, if you ask Xpert to solve a calculation from a particular scenario, it may not be able to provide an adequate answer where it doesn't have the full context. So prompting, "Why is the goodwill calculation 1.7 million for question 3 is not an appropriate question to ask. Xpert will struggle to provide a correct reply or potentially hallucinate to provide a reply based on missing information. Instead, Instead, you can interrogate Xpert on your technical understanding of the respective topic by asking, provide the steps for calculating goodwill. Now, a question like this will encourage Xpert to provide a walkthrough which you can then use to gauge if you've applied these steps correctly in your answer. For now, we hope that Xpert can be your digital tutor, supporting your technical understanding by providing clear and concise explanations.
Now, don't worry if you didn't take all of that in, because I know there was lots of useful information in that video. You can access it and watch it again. It's available in the resources tab of this webinar. But as you might have heard in that video, what's really important when you're using AI tools, and I'm sure lots of you are already using these in study and your personal life for lots of different reasons. And what you may have noticed is the quality of your prompts, so the question that you enter in, is really important for getting the most out of that tool. And this is exactly the same with Xpert. The better you prompt it, the better the information it can provide. So we're just going to take a couple of minutes just to play a little bit of an interactive game. What I want to do is bring up an example of a prompt on the screen, and all you have to do is write yes or no in the attendee chat, or give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on whether you think it's a good or a bad prompt. So let's get started. Let's start with the first one. The prompt, I don't understand bookkeeping. What do you think? Do you think this is good or bad? You can say yes or no, good or bad in the chat, or give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Anyone? What do you think about this? No, okay, yeah, lots of answers coming through. Alfonso, Megan, Path, Daniela, you're all saying no, this is a bad prompt. Oh, lots of thumbs down emojis coming now, that's great. And of course, this is a bad prompt. It's too broad, it's a general statement, not a question. You really need to be more specific, and where possible, include context. So what about this one? What is the difference between absorption and marginal costing? Good or bad? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you think? A little bit more of a mixed response, but we are getting some thumbs up. So we think this is actually a good prompt. This gives Xpert a specific question to answer, and it's based on the course content as well. So remember, Xpert is there to support you with the technical content that's available within the ACCA-X course. It can't help you with anything outside of that remit. So this is based on the course content, and it's very specific. Next, we have this prompt. So why is the number $4.2 million for the sales tax? What do you think? Is that good or bad? Thumbs up, thumbs down? See a thumbs up there? Okay, lots. Okay, again, a bit of a mixed response to this one, but I can see some of you saying that it's a bad prompt, and we agree. This may look like it's a specific question, but remember, it doesn't provide any context or explain what problem it needs to be solved. Xpert isn't going to be able to respond accurately, as it doesn't have the relevant background information for this. Last one. How do I calculate the sales tax when I'm provided with the gross sales figure? Good or bad? What do you think? Any thoughts on this one? Good, good, good. Yes, lots of people in the attendee chat saying good and yes. Of course, we agree. So this gives clear guidance on the problem that needs to be solved, and it's providing full context based on the technical content. Now, hopefully you'll take this away. And like I said, some of you might already be way ahead of us thinking about this because we're all using different AI tools in our everyday life. But just a few more further tips for you. When using Xpert, make sure to be clear and concise. If the initial response doesn't fully address a question, provide follow-up prompts for more in-depth assistance. Always cross-reference the information against the unit content. Now, my colleague Kritika mentioned this in the video. You always need to make sure that you're taking this in context and double-checking. Sometimes AI tools can hallucinate. And it's a very useful tool, but it can't answer everything for you. It may make mistakes, so just exercise caution and use your judgment. So if you want, please continue the chat in the attendee chat and let us know how you get your own tips on getting the most out of AI tools. But now I want to move on to study tips. So as an ACCA-X learner, you'll be learning online. And this essentially means you're self-studying. And that's very different to a traditional classroom environment. And it comes with a different set of challenges and opportunities. And I think in the poll earlier, lots of you chose a lack of motivation as a possible stumbling block in online learning. It can be really intimidating and it may feel overwhelming being responsible for your own schedule. So what we're going to do is just share a few quick tips on getting the most of it. One of the main challenges of studying online is finding a workspace that's free of distractions, because you're not going into a physical classroom where, you know, it's dedicated for study. So think about your workspace, turn off your phone and ensure you have all your study tools close by so that you don't have to keep on getting up and you're ready to maximize your study time. Really try and make sure that environment is clean and tidy. This is a really useful way of ordering your mind and focusing on the task at hand. You are going to be far more likely to succeed if you have clear goals to work towards, and it's therefore important to understand what your learning objectives are. For a lot of you, it will be to pass exams and progress through the ACCA qualification. So stay focused and keep track of your progress. Give yourself a motivational boost, because nothing feels better than ticking things off a to-do list, as I'm sure you'll all agree. Set yourself a realistic schedule that fits around life and work. I know that can be tricky, but one of the advantages of online learning with ACCA-X is it's really flexible. It's self-paced, it's on demand. You can fit this really easily around your life commitment, so make the most of that. You also want to make sure that you're thinking about your learning style. So lots of learning techniques are universal. So asking questions, sharing our knowledge, taking notes. These are all active forms of learning, but we all do learn in different ways. And it's important you make use of the resources that suit your type of learning. Lots of people find videos the best way of consuming content, or it could be knowledge checks where you're actually actively putting your knowledge to the test. So find out what works best for you. I've also already mentioned that it's worth engaging with others on the forums. It's a really good way of improving your knowledge and boosting your motivation, especially when you're studying alone at home. You're going to be able to create your own sense of like a study community, and you're all at the same stage of learning. So hopefully you can help each other work out those core concepts. We've got loads of different resources, both within the ACCA-X courses, but also ACCA study resources. So do make sure these are available to you. Like I said, when you've enrolled, go to the virtual notice board, flick through, and you'll find lots of different tips and links that will help you get the most out of resources. You should also look after your well-being. This is really important. And also plan for exam success. If you're planning to take the ACCA exams, get that booked. It's an on-demand exam. So once you've booked it, you will have a date to work towards, and that will give your learning a focus and keep you motivated during your studies. Very quickly, before we move on to Q&A, I'm just going to move on to some next steps. So we've shared lots of information in this webinar, and I hope you found it useful, but this will hopefully just summarize what you might want to consider doing next. So If you are thinking to enroll onto our ACCA-X courses, which we very much hope you do, you can visit our website and you can select the course you wish to enroll onto and then follow the enrollment steps and set up an edX account. So just a quick reminder that edX is the platform which hosts our courses. We have a special discount that Gillian has mentioned already. This is for our free paid courses, Financial Accounting, Management Accounting, and Business and Technology. You need to use the code edXCyber25 when you get to the checkout, and that's going to entitle you to 15% off. We do get a lot of people who watch these webinars on demand. So if that's you, then just be aware that the offer may have expired by the time you're watching this, but we've got the dates up on the screen. Next, if you are going to pursue the Foundations in Accountancy or ACCA qualification, it does help to have a deadline to work towards, and you can do this by booking your exam. I know it might seem daunting to book an exam and commit so early, but knowing before you begin studies when your exam date is will help you build a really solid study plan and structure your learning. The exams at this level are all on-demand CBEs, which means that you can choose to take them at a date that suits you. And it is easy in this context to keep delaying this or procrastinating over it, but honestly, it's the best way to get motivated. So try and book your exam early on. Finally, I've already mentioned all the resources, but these are really, it's worth repeating. There is lots of fantastic study support available to you. Do take time to look at the one-page resource for this webinar in the resources tab. It summarizes all the key resources that you need to be aware of at this stage. And also, I just wanted to finish off with an important note that you should be thinking about practicing. This is absolutely one of the best ways to learn. So use the resources, solidify your knowledge, get your understanding of core concepts up to the best level you can, and then start applying your knowledge in using question practice. We do have regular checks throughout the courses, optional exams as well as graded exams, but also we have the ACCA practice tests which replicate the exam interface and are a great way to practice ahead of your on-demand CBE. Also, if you're enrolled onto one of our 3 paid courses, you get access to the ACCA practice tests for free. That was a bit of a whistle-stop tour because I just wanted to make sure we had time at the end for Q&A. So I'm going to bring Gillian back on at this point. Hi, Gillian.
Hi.
So I have just been talking a lot, so I'm going to hand over to you to answer a question, and then I'll pick up some as well.
Okay, well, we've had lots and lots and lots of questions coming in live, which our team in the back end have been tirelessly trying to get through. Yeah, a lot of recurring themes actually with the questions coming in. So the first one here, do these courses help you prepare for the applied skills exam? So the courses aren't for the applied skills exams specifically, but I mean, definitely the knowledge that you'll gain in the courses will definitely help build that fundamental knowledge and support you as you move along the qualification through the applied skills exams. Next one, Isabel, how do I know if I'm eligible to take these courses?
Yeah, so the answer basically is that everyone's eligible to take an ACCA-X course. There's no eligibility, that's another hard word to say, eligibility criteria for these. They are open access. Obviously, if you are going to be taking associated ACCA exams, just make sure you're enrolling onto the right course for the exam that you intend to prepare for. But yeah, these are open to everyone, and not just those who are planning on sitting an exam straight away. It might also be worthwhile if you're just wanting to get a taster, a taste for accountancy and just see if you want to pursue the qualification. This is also a great course program for giving you that insight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Another fantastic question, actually. Are ACCA-X courses enough to prepare for the exams, or do I need to arrange tuition elsewhere? The answer is no. Everything that you need is going to be contained within that course. And like we've said quite a few times now, if you're on the paid courses, you also get access to the practice tests absolutely free of charge. And there's a specimen exam on the website as well for you to practice. So you don't have to purchase anything else in addition to the ACCA-X course. Isabella, how do I take the exams and how do I book them? Do you want to?
Yeah, so these are on-demand exams, as we've mentioned. That basically means that you can book at a time that suits you. You will still need to go and sit and take this in an exam centre, so it's all about availability in that sense. But you can find out more information on the ACCA webinar website, and also I think you book these directly with the exam centres. So I think the best thing to do is go to the website and read more about how and where you can book these. But yeah, on-demand exams, which is really, really good. I think, like we've already touched upon, it can make things feel a little bit. It can be hard to go for it and get that booked because it's on demand, so you're not held to a session like for the later exams. But the flexibility is really useful.
Yeah, totally. And also those practice tests are identical to what you'll see. Different questions, of course, but identical to what you see, like the layout and how they look and the instructions at the beginning are all what you'll experience in the on-demand live exam. So nothing should be too unfamiliar when you get to the exam centre. Another good question, is it an obligation to sit ACCA-X courses, or can I follow with other course providers? It's not an obligation. It's completely up to you whether you want to sit the ACCA-X courses, but this whole webinar is kind of us been listing all of the benefits of ACCA-X courses, their flexibility, their affordability. So no, it's not an obligation, but they're fantastic courses. We get fantastic feedback on them, and we do see our pass rates are higher than the global average. Something I don't actually know if we've mentioned so far in this session, but our ACCA-X learner pass rates are always higher than the global average. So it speaks for itself, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't believe we've come this far without mentioning that. It's a huge selling point of ACCA-X.
It's unbelievable, yeah, something we're very, very proud of. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're thinking about sitting a course at this level.
Yeah.
A question on certificates, which we always get questions on certificates, don't we, Isabel? Do you want to take that one? Or
yes, so if you're enrolled into an ACCA-X course, it does not offer an edX certificate like some other edX courses might. To gain a certificate, you will need to register as an ACCA student and sit the relevant exam. So yeah, just be aware of that going in, because like Gillian said, we do get quite a lot of queries on this, people who are expecting a certificate at the end of the course. You would need to sit the exam in order to get this. This is a bit of a broader one for you, Gillian. Yeah. What do I need to do to start my ACCA journey?
Well, excuse me, what I would say is if you haven't registered with ACCA yet, I would probably start with registering with the ACCA qualification, and then you can enroll with your ACCA-X course, your chosen ACCA-X course. But once you're enrolled with ACCA, that gives you, that allows you to be able to book exams, for example. So what I would do is start with registration and then look at enrolling in one of our courses. I hope that's answered that question to whoever's asked it. I'll kind of quickly move on to the next question as well, because it's quite a quick answer. Does the price of the course include the exam entry fee? It doesn't include the exam entry fee, but it's a highly affordable course with a discount on at the moment. Remember as well, that's $119 US that the courses normally are. So very affordable, but you pay your exam entry fee at the on-demand exam centre. So you find out where your closest on-demand exam centre is, you book your exam directly with them and they'll take the fee from you, but I can't really comment on what those exam entry fees will be.
I can take the next one that's come through, which is about how long it takes to complete the courses and can I do it in phases. So yeah, this is totally up to the learner, dependent on their circumstances. So these are on-demand, self-paced courses, which means you can start anytime and you can set your own study schedule. Every learner's obviously they're going to have a different set of circumstances to consider. So if you've got family commitments, work commitments, you know, anything could be at play. So it is really flexible in that sense. Having said that, there are suggested learning hours for each course. So for the first 4, the free courses, FA1, FA2, MA1 and MA2, they usually take around 30 to 48 hours to complete. And the Applied Knowledge exams, or the financial accounting, management accounting, and business and technology, they're longer, with an average of 60 to 96 hours. But if that sounds a lot, don't worry, because it's chunked up really nicely. It's really easy to navigate through the course content, and you're building on your knowledge as you go through. So hopefully it's engaging as you go through. But also you have access to these courses for a full 12 months as well. So yes, you can absolutely do it in phases. You can take it, you know, bit by bit in a time and pace that suits you, and you have access for that full year. So hopefully that should answer that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all know life can get in the way, don't we? Work commitments, family commitments, social commitments. There's a lot of other commitments. So yeah, it's good to have that flexibility where you can dip in and out. But we also at the same time kind of say try and keep the momentum going, you know, because you don't want too long a gap and then you have to go back and kind of revisit parts of the course you've already gone through. But yeah, the beauty is that you have that luxury with our courses. I heard the exams are computer based, and I'm curious to know what this will be like. Already touched on this earlier as well. The exams are computer-based exams at on-demand exam centres. So these are like third-party centres. But like I said earlier on, if you sit the practice tests, which are free for the enrollers in the paid courses, or any ACCA student can purchase the practice tests from ACCA Learning, that will give you the exam experience. You'll be able to practice an on-demand exam. The timer's there. It looks how it would look if you were sitting in an exam centre. So yeah, that's such a luxury as well, to be able to practice exactly how the exam's going to look. Is practical experience required to complete the courses and gain qualification, Isabel?
No. So just to reiterate, there aren't any requirements for learners to access and enroll onto these courses. I had actually seen someone in the attendee chat had asked that again, is there any requirement to join the course? So just to reiterate, these are open to everyone, regardless of where you are in terms of knowledge or your learning journey. You don't need practical experience ahead of this. You can just go ahead and enroll.
I think we've probably got time. Oh, I was going to say, I think we've probably got time for 1 or 2 more. Do you want me to take them, Isabel?
Yeah, I was just going to very quickly just mention, I've seen one student just mentioned what happens after 12 months. I just wanted to answer that. So this is in reference to the fact that you have that 12 months to access content. After 12 months, your access will be removed. So if it was a free course, you obviously more than welcome to just enroll onto the new course, onto the course again. If it was a paid course, you would be required to pay for enrollment again. Sorry, Gillian, I'll leave the last couple for you.
No, absolutely. This is a quick one. We've kind of already touched on it in the webinar anyway, but is ACCA-X different from the ACCA qualification? Yes, it's different in that ACCA-X is a suite of courses. And Another really good question, when do the courses start? And we haven't touched on that either, but there's a syllabus changeover with ACC every September. So the new version, the 25-26 examinable syllabus year content went live in September, but you can enroll at any point. You could enroll today. So, and you'll have the full 12 months access to the course. But remember, the syllabus change is every September. So if you're enrolling now, you probably want to sit your exam within the next few months. And I think that's just about covered the main questions that have been coming in. Really, really, really good questions.
Yeah. And again, there's someone in the attendee chat has said, do I stick to Study Hub or go for ACCA-X courses? I know you've just answered this, Gillian, but just as a reminder, think of the Study Hub as a digital textbook, and it covers the exam syllabus, but ACCA-X is a form of online tuition, and it'll actually be amazing if you combine them. Using the two resources, they complement each other really well, and both can be used during your studies. So it's not an and or. You can use both, and that will put you in a really strong position ahead of your ACCA exams. Shall I wrap up now, Gillian? I think we're out of time. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We did mention at the beginning, because you've registered for this webinar, you will receive an email in the next 24 hours, which contains a link to watch this again on demand. So don't worry if you had any technical issues or you missed anything during the session. You can watch that again. The video that we played on Xpert, you can access that in the resources tab, as well as a really useful interactive one-pager, which lists all the different study resources, and you can it has links to take you to them directly as well. Thank you so much. Remember, there is a discount at the moment. We can, I think, put it in the chat maybe. I can't remember. Oh, it's edX Cyber 25. That's it. Use that if you're going onto the paid courses, and you'll get 15% off. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Gillian. And thank you to the ACCA team who've been busy answering questions in the background as well. All the best and happy learning.